This is Caitlin of yesterday, sitting at my living room table. Well, actually this is my recorded voice from yesterday, sitting at my living room table.
America's young women are running out of oxygen. What else could explain why so many of them sound like this?
So cute, so cute.
It's just kind of like my, motto.
Kim and Chloe just don't get it.
Sounds something like this.
It's annoying. I mean, it's really annoying.
That was vocal fry, and some of the reactions to the speech pattern claimed to be adopted by young American women, even though it is also used by men and older women. My attention was brought to this so-called epidemic via an article in which Naomi Wolf was appealing to young women to drop vocal fry and reclaim their strong female voice, or risk not being listened to or taken seriously. I became a little obsessed with this targeting of young women and the long history of policing and silencing women's voices. I began to think of my relationship to my own voice, particularly in situations of public speaking, presenting in professional meetings, and when the attention of a group turns to me. My confidence in what I have to say wavers. I begin to pay more attention to the quivering of my voice and the betrayal of my body over the content or message. I also recalled social situations where others, often older men, would speak to me in a way of helping out, helping me not seem incompetent, or in other instances, mirroring my vocal tics in a joking fashion, like this being not so subtle a way of expressing their annoyance. I want to know, what is this strong female voice that Naomi Wolf speaks of? The words that came to mind were confident, authoritative, and authentic. But is using this language just asking women to fit within the normative idea of what the pleasing voice is, rather than allowing for change? A change in listening and attitude, providing a sonic space for individual expressiveness, be that breathy, stuttering, trilling, sexual, naive, or guttural. In the words of Meredith Monk, the voice is like the body. It has a kind of articulation and flexibility and fluidity like the body. I thought perhaps there was a world available to me of different sonic landscapes and textures and ways of producing sounds that I'd not experienced expressing in my adult life. I was also aware that as individuals, we cannot remove ourselves or our voices from our cultural and interpersonal settings, nor can we sideline our bodies in understanding of self, a self that is dynamic and relational. So you're probably wondering why you are listening to my disembodied voice of yesterday. When Danny and Joel invited me to take part in this project, I was informed that I would be given a 20-minute slot to present my response to what would a feminist methodology sound like. Even though there was openness to what the format of the presentation could be, I instantly felt I was required to perform, to use my voice in front of a large number of people. On reflection, I question if this introduction was lacking in terms of not explicitly allowing a structure for the quiet artist, or that it's actually progressive by giving an opportunity for someone like me that prefers to observe from the sideline to actually face some of my fears. I made the decision while practicing this talk that I did not want my message to be obstructed by my nerves or the rawness of emotions that digging deeper into the reasons for my introversion has evoked. This is my choice for self-care. In the lead up to tonight, I got some beta blockers from a friend. It was like doing a drug deal in the foyer of her office. I even considered hypnosis. But all of this focus was causing me to become more worked up about it. And I decided to give myself a break, to feel my limits for now, knowing that these limits will contract and expand over time. So instead, I give you my voice tonight. And my body is here too, sitting in the room, my heart probably pacing, my bones trembling, maybe even a slight blush now that the attention is drawn to me. It's okay, Caitlin, just breathe. My first response to vocal fry and finding a strong female voice was to open the conversation to a group of women through a series of workshops. I planned the workshops to explore expression of our voices through body awareness, relational and listening exercises. It's at this point that I'd like to thank all the participants. Beth Sometimes, Hannah Gartside, Georgina Criddle, Shani Mahini Holmes, Eleanor Betros, Caroline Anderson and Nancy Lim. Thank you for your engagement, your openness and your thoughtful discussion. I'd also like to thank Anna McCrossan Owen, our vocal coach and my inspirational collaborator for part of the series. Through the workshops, I thought we might learn something about ourselves, how we respond to situations, how we relate to each other. I saw myself adopting a feminist methodology because it was collaborative, it was process-driven, not focusing on an outcome. Danny and Joel supported this proposal, knowing full well that there might not be an outcome, taking a risk in an experimental approach of a series of workshops that flailed a little in structure, facilitated by a woman that was clearly more comfortable as participant rather than leader. What was I thinking? What were they thinking? Was it naive or was it actually brave? I realised early on that bringing a group of people together to embody and discuss this incredibly complex and personal topic was leading to much bigger questions for me about intent, collaboration, ethics, openness, social dynamics, and leadership. The traditional form of a workshop implies an emphasis on problem solving. I guess I want to know more of an alternative structure, one that allows for time, agency, learning from each other, spontaneity, and a care for a fragile existence, for not knowing. I know this does exist, and I'll continue to search for a format in which I feel at home. Essentially, my response to what would a feminist methodology sound like is a whole suite of new questions. I now know that this is my personal methodology and the way I negotiate life. A constant questioning, never quite reaching an endpoint. My response tonight is to return back to the topic of voice and to open the conversation to all of you. I believe by continually opening our ears and our minds to the plethora of difference in voices, be that associated to gender, culture, ethnicity, sexuality, age, or physical ability, the space for what is perceived as authoritative, pleasant, and confident will expand. So I want to hear your voices. It's at this point that I think I need my body back. So past voice, handing over to present voice. Good luck. Hi. Okay, so basically, as my past voice said, I want to hear your voices. And this is a really well-known icebreaker activity, but it's well into the evening and I feel like the ice is already broken, but if you can just humour me, that would be great. So basically, what I'd like you to do is to partner up, essentially with someone that you don't know or someone you might like to get to know. And what I'd like you to do is to introduce yourself to that person and then to talk about how you feel about your voice. And you can use these questions as references. And then the second phase is to introduce yourself. Well, basically I'll ask a couple of people to volunteer to introduce your partner and their perspective on their voice, but in first person. So maybe it's a bit confusing, so maybe Danny and I can give a little example. Hi. Hi, I'm Caitlin, and I feel a little bit, I have a shaky relationship with my voice. I actually quite like it. I don't mind my voice. It's just when in public speaking situations. So I guess it's more of a confidence issue.
I really like your voice. And I don't really like mine because I feel like it's really overexposed. Everyone's heard it so much over the last few weeks. But what I don't like about it, or I don't know if I don't like about it, is I do vocal fry all the time. I don't know about you, but I do it all the time. Especially when I'm tired, or just when I'm not even concentrating. So that's what I think about my voice.
And so then I would introduce Danny by saying, hi, my name is Danny. What I don't like about my voice is that I do vocal fry all the time, especially when I'm tired. It's as simple as that. Okay, so if I can get you to find a partner, I could suggest maybe looking across the room and whoever you first get eye contact with, just find them. Or maybe there's someone close by that you don't know. Just be brave, guys, come on. And so I'm going to give you 5 minutes to have this conversation. Okay, guys, I'm going to count down just 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds more to wrap up your conversation. 15 seconds more. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this is nice. You're all talking. It's what I asked you to do. Okay, so now I would like to ask any volunteers that would like to introduce their partner. This is the hard part. So I saw you guys were having a really in-depth conversation over there. Were you actually talking about voice? Would you like to introduce anyone? Ooh.
Hi, my name's Mel. I have an identical twin sister, and she acts really blonde, and I'm a brunette, and she is also Korean, German, French, and Australian, so she actually likes to play up those accents, whereas I like to be neutral when I'm around her. Thank you.
Anyone else? Guys, I don't want to force anyone. Force them? Okay. Hey.
Hi, I'm Janie, and I really love my voice, and I just feel like I've been working, I'm just really enjoying it at the moment. I'm working on this theatre production, and I've been singing like I've never sung before, and it's taking me to places that I've never been, and I feel like I'm just communicating, and it's just going really, it's really good. And she didn't do that.
Okay, maybe just a couple more. Come on. Kim? Sorry, I just have to target someone I know.
Oh, you see, when I I speak English. It's just like a psychosis. I don't know if that's right. Actually, in French I speak much louder, but in English I speak so quietly, and it's kind of weird for me. Oh, Scheiße. I don't know. Yes, I'm not normally so quiet in French. I can't. I'm having some moments of forgetfulness. Okay, thank you.
Maybe just one more to end the evening. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Tal. The deeper the go, the better you feel. The better you feel, the deeper you go.
Okay. Does anybody else want to volunteer before I? Okay.
This is a poem about syphilis. O rose, thou art sick, the invisible worm that flies through the night in the howling storm seeks out thy bed of crimson joy, and thus does thy secret love and thy life destroy.
Thank you. Okay, well, I really think, I would love to actually debrief, but I feel like the structure is kind of, I don't know, coming down on me again, and my time is out. So please keep talking to each other, talk to me afterwards, and just talk. Okay, thanks.